County Westmeath has a rich industrial heritage, and many people have personal experiences of working in a variety of industries. This project aims to capture the living memories of the lives and working practices of these industries in the form of oral history recordings. This is one of several interviews being conducted over the coming months. The interviews will then be preserved as a permanent resource and stored with Westmeath County Libraries.
And I used to buy the paper every morning. I love the paper. And I seen it, and now just looking for a compositor in the Westmeath Examiner. And I rang the Examiner about it, and I went and did an interview, and it took me on. That's where I started. I started working in the Examiner the last week of May in 1973. And I went to work at Nicholas and Ali that time. Nicholas was the manager and was also the editor of the Westmeath Examiner. And
he was the man that interviewed you, was he?
The man that interviewed me and the man that hired me. And I'll have to say, without any fear of contradiction, as far as I'm concerned, Nicholas Nally is one of the best newspapermen in the country. A great newspaperman. And you just love to read his editorial. And he probably built the Examiner to what it is today. So I could never say a word against him. Mickey Roach, he had a little news agent down in Austin Friar Street, and it's a small little place, but he sold more Examiners than he sold more than the whole of them put together. And how Mickey did it was, he come up and collected, he had a Honda 50, and he was boxing the back of the Honda 50, and he come up and he filled his box with Examiners and go from house to house on it. And everyone didn't got the habit, when we want to examine, we'll go to Mickey Roach's. But I remember one time the machine broke down one Wednesday evening, and the people went looking for their examiner to Mickey Roach, and there was that big a crowd, the guards had to come and disperse them. So he was a kind of a landmark, Mickey Roach. Yeah. He got his little.
Was he a character, or was he?
No, he was just a quiet little man.
Just quiet man, yeah.
He never opened his mouth anyone, but he had a great way with him, and his little Honda 50. He sold thousands of Examiners of Honda 50. Go around the town and up and people what they would do is say, Mickey would be around with the Examiner, get the Examiner from him.
Now explain the stone to me.
Well, the stone is where the comps worked. It was called the stone because it actually was a stone. Big flag stone. And it was the only thing that you could put type on. You couldn't put, it wouldn't work on timber. It'd spring. You had to go on stone. Stone. I don't know why the stone was firm. But if you tried, well, we used to put the type into what they call a chase.
Which was?
It was metal and iron.
It's like a frame, is it?
Like a frame. I mean, you put it down in the stone and you made the stuff and put the type into it. Mm-hmm. And you had a key, you had coins, what they call coins, and you locked it in the chase. You had a key and all for locking it. And then you had a mallet and you had a block timber and you had to mallet it down to level it all out. And then when you done that, you took it, you then, when you did ready on the stone, you locked it up and you brought it down to the printer and he put it in the machine. And then he proofed it then. That'd be proof taken of it. Had to be checked in for mistakes. The hot metal was the metal came in bars, and the intertype would go up, you did or the line, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. They had a pot on them, an electric pot, and you put this bar down into the pot like that on a hook.
And this is a bar of lead, was it?
A bar of metal. Of course, the pot of electric was, I think it was so many degrees. It could melt the metal, and the metal came out liquid. And there's a plunger in it.
Okay.
And when you set your type, it went over and down here, and then the yoke plunged, and out come your. It produced your slug, as we call it. And that's your type. That was how your type was manufactured.
Right. And the slug was just one letter, or
No, it'd be a whole
a row of
line.
letters?
It'd be a row,
Or like a line of print in the
A
paper?
line of print in the paper.
Okay.
So you know what I mean? And that's how they set that. Then they would call, when they have so much set, they set their story, they take it out and put it on a galley, what they call a galley. It was like a tray. And the compositor would take that galley, bring that up and put it in the stone, and he put it in the paper. That's the way it worked.